Hey guys, don't worry. Between the making of this video, I like started it earlier, and then I had to go to the doctor and like do all this stuff. So I got like a whole ego change going on in between clips. But just wanted to get this video finished. Good morning, everyone. Let's talk about karmic relationships. So, having relationships with people is fundamental to our well-being, but they're very different types, and it can be very hard to define them. There are those that will change your life forever, and then there are those that seem incredibly important while you're in them, but once they're over, they fade away until you can't even remember why you were with that person to begin with. So perhaps you're friends with benefits or a casual fling that you both know won't last long. Committed, married, dating. There's one relationship type that is less spoken about, is the karmic relationship. Have you never heard of the term? The scenario is quite common. So fundamentally, it's a passionate yet inherently difficult relationship that you really, really have to work hard at to maintain. Like, so much so that you're not even sure if it's worth pursuing. Even if you're madly in love, it will teach you some of the most important lessons about love. So here are some signs that you're in a karmic relationship. If it makes you feel like you're on an emotional roller coaster, are you happy from one day and miserable the next, or even hourly? Does this just like keep happening in a cycle, like week after week and day after day? A karmic relationship will draw you in so deep that anything that rocks the boat, even a minor argument, will feel like a massive issue that upends your entire world. You will have instant connection and attraction with them. It's kind of like love on an island. This is a life-altering, like deep down in your bones, meant to be kind of spark. More often than not, people in karmic relationships are very attracted to each other, like completely from the get-go. You can absolutely fall head over heels for someone right away, and real love takes time to develop. What you're feeling is most likely extreme lust, attraction, and it's really important to know that there will be big problems very early on. And I mean, this goes beyond fighting about like what to have for dinner. One person will ultimately be more dominant than the other, or you're having extreme power struggles, just constant fighting and then making up. You will also not feel secure in the relationship. A healthy relationship makes you feel safe and loved and cared for. And if you're constantly worrying about the state of your relationship you're in, or always concerned that it's just gonna abruptly end, or that your partner is going to leave you, well, that's karmic. It may also include some of these characteristics. A very intense attraction, addictions, sex, drugs, drinking, escapism, bad girl, boy personas, arguments, hurtful words, but will usually result in make-up sex, giving up your interests, restricted financially, and it always feels like everything is being taken away from you. Jealousy, Like, say, they'll be able to hang out with people, but you're not. Isolation, no contact, silent treatment, no contact with friends, work, family. You feel very alone. Name calling, disrespect of feelings, extreme weight loss or gain, usually from severe stress. Will call you just for sex and then ignore you. Like, it'll just be purely physical. Lies, even lie when they get caught. Cheating, cheats with you, cheat on you. Obsession, calling you nonstop, stalking you. Just breakups, and then either will pull an emotional stunt or drama to pull you back in to be around them, and that's like they like weasel their way in. You have to remind yourself that two people do not get together or stay together unless they have the same energetic frequency. Karmic relationships are basically a frequency of karmic imprints on your souls. Becomes the determining factor that attracts the two people together, and then later creating the dysfunctional relationship dynamics that sabotage the relationship. One of the most influential factors is karmic imprint of emotional pain that people from past relationships or your life, something, you'll attract only untrustworthy people. And another one is victimization issues. You can have a polarity-based attraction. Let's say that you have karmic imprints of not being or feeling worthy of love, and based on that frequency, you'll most likely attract a person who subconsciously believes they're incapable of giving love or opening their heart chakra. Some other things about polarity are betrayal and trust issues. Someone not being able to trust people, and then that person cheats on you. So basically, from past abusive relationships, you'll attract a partner that will basically play the role of a tyrant. Abandonment. You'll have soul fragments created during past traumatic experiences or events of abandonment, and then you'll probably have a great fear of being abandoned. So the partner will be very rejecting, abandoning, neglectful, or do a lot of like escapist or ghosting activities. This one is pretty big for a lot of women. Emotionally unavailable or has commitment issues. This is like a classic pattern many people get caught up into, because there's a series of energetic blockages that keep you in this karmic loop, this trauma bond, where you attract or fall in love with men who are emotionally unavailable or simply not willing to commit to the relationship. Some ways to solve these karmic imprints are, to close the love and hate karmic loop, clearing your soul fragments, and transcend chemical-based love and embody a state of higher giving love. Emotional addictions, clear hatred, resentment, pity, redemption. Manifest a relationship where the soul connection is so strong that breaking up is never an option. codependency is a huge one. Blockage of relationship drama. And it's the reason why many people get caught up in karmic relationships, because wanting and expecting the other person to make you happy or become the source of your happiness and thrive. You have to thrive in your own self-love. They're a taker and you're a giver, or vice versa. You know, somebody's immature and you're more of a mothering type, or you're the provider and they need provided for. You have to lighten and clear your emotional pain within your body, clearing layers of past traumas, unresolved emotions, betrayal, heartbreak, abandonment, rejection, abuse, and so much more. Guilt and unworthiness. Guilt is the greatest blockage to self-love and joy. Without self-love, you will get caught up in a relationship ruled by energy vampirism, where each person is trying to extract the love they believe they don't have. And if you feel unworthy, then you will tend to attract relationships that will reflect this awful feeling back to you. Blockages to higher love. You know, you gotta open your heart chakra, transcend relationship based on ego and chemical love. Instead, awaken to the infinite source of higher giving love that lies within you. And cut ties to past relationships. Cut all cords of attachments, karmic ties to anything previous. They keep you stuck in the past and in those patterns. Free yourself of past unresolved emotional issues. Lift the veils that have been distorting your relationship perception. You can transcend karmic relationships because they do not respect healthy boundaries in their partners. They serve only their own self-interest and needs. They're the perfect template for forming abusive or codependent complexes. And one person will be very invested and the other person views it more as a convenience. Karmic relationships are not meant to last, and they usually have the biggest life lessons in love, and they are very different from the twin flame journey and soulmate relationships. Such relationships repeat the same patterns and remain stagnant because the only way you can grow through them is by letting go. So, due to issues that have been karmically created in our lifetime, or even in our past lifetimes, a karmic relationship, we can either grow, learn, and expand, or we stagnate, obsess, and break apart. Now, you can attract a new relationship with unlimited potential, or help your current relationship by overcoming karmic hurdles. You know, understand your karma, respond differently, change your environment, practice forgiveness, and always generate good karma. And definitely perform cleansing rituals of your mind, body, spirit. Karmic relationships are usually one-sided. One will feel irresistibly pulled to the other person, and the other person will completely ignore all of their feelings. It is an emotional roller coaster. Now, this can also appear in the form of your partner being controlling, obsessive, or just plain mean. And as a side note, remembering that controlling behavior is also a red flag warning sign of an abusive partner. So please be careful and consider whether this is a bigger issue that you should deal with now before things get worse, or what? Because arguing is normal. Arguing is about coming to compromise and agreement and understanding. And a loving partner is not going to make you feel bad about yourself, or, do things that make you feel bad about yourself. It's very hard to end the relationship, even if you want to, because you're on again, off again, over and over and over. And one or both of you might want out of the relationship, and yet you can't resist staying or getting back together. You're like magnets. And it's that addiction, that trauma bond to the relationship, or dependent on the other person and your connection to them. And some people will feel afraid of what will happen and who they will become once the relationship is over. Your partner is selfish and not interested in your needs. They want to go out, and so do you. They want to stay home, and so do you. They want you to jump up and down while holding a teacup, so do you. But the point is that karmic relationships usually rely on a delicate balance of one person being self-serving and the other doing whatever they can to keep them happy. There are obviously exceptions to every rule, but most karmic relationships will usually end. I know a lot of people that have married their karmic soulmate thinking that this is the one, and after years of turmoil and hell, they break up or divorce, and until you find your self-love, you will just feel so broken and worse than you did before you got together. It's like a fiery and exciting whenever you're together, but like a volcano, and you never know when your connection is gonna erupt and destroy everything. They're very tumultuous to be maintainable, but you learn from them and you move on, which is exactly what they're there for your lessons of growth. And these can be romantic partners, this can be family, friends, anybody can be this, these karmic lessons. As always, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, like the video, share it with people that you may think need to listen, and check out Nyssatwoscoops.com for, tea needs.